Thank you for tuning in to Best Look Uncovered TV. I'm Aja Blue, a 27-year cosmetology professional. Anybody that is in the industry relative to cosmetology, or even any entrepreneurs who are trying to pivot during this pandemic, I have had to get creative with the way that I engage with my clients and the way that I sort of keep the lines of communication open with my clients and potential clients. I own a hair salon. I have owned my salon for about 11 years now, but I have been an entrepreneur for about 27 years. This pandemic is like nothing I have ever experienced before. In all of my years behind the chair at the salon, I did not receive any funding. You got PPP, you got EIDL, they had all of these COVID relief entrepreneur business programs, and a lot of that money went to corporations and businesses who did not need it. And I just don't understand how that was even possible. But needless to say, I did not receive any funding or any help from any outside, banking institution or anything like that to help me to stay afloat or to help my business stay open during this pandemic. And I cannot believe it's almost been a year. It has been the slowest, fastest year of my entire life. So I am just thankful that I was able to still sort of, I don't want to say pivot, but really I had to change my strategy as it relates to, communicating with my clients. So if you are a salon owner, I just wanted to share some tips with you on some things that I did to help my business sort of stay afloat. I know it's only by God's grace, I'm gonna just be real, that I'm still here and that I'm still hanging on. It has not been easy. My salon is still thriving. And one thing that I did when we had to close, the first 2 weeks, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I was depressed. Okay, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? If you are like me, if you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times when we don't work, we don't get paid, depending on the niche or the field that you're in. In order to be prepared for that, typically I've learned over the years to have savings and to give yourself a little cushion. But because we did not know how long this quarantine or this pandemic was going to last us, it's only but so much savings you can go through, y'all. And it's only but, so much money. If you don't have money coming in, I don't believe in spending money when you don't have money coming in, unless it's to invest. So I had to be really careful with where I put the money that I had in different areas so that it would return back to me more than what I put out, which is what investing is. One of the first things that I did in March when I had to close the salon, I just sat still for the first 2 weeks. I did not do anything. I did not attempt to do anything. I was sad. I was depressed. I was worried. I was confused. I was just so anxious. How long is this going to affect my money? How long will my money stretch that I already have? So I was really sitting in that for a little while, and I had to snap out of it. I've learned over the years that it's never about really what it looks like. There's always a bigger picture, involved with whatever you're going through. And I really had to sort of feed myself the opposite of what I was feeling with what could potentially happen with my career and my businesses. I had to snap out of that. I had to start doing something. I'm not used to sitting still either. So with me sitting still, I kind of felt like I needed that, but at the same time, I felt guilty because I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm always doing something. I'm always trying to learn. If I have idle time, I'm on YouTube watching videos. I'm on Google researching. I am on podcasts, listening to people who are like-minded or who are where I want to be, in my business. And I just didn't have the energy to do any of that. So I felt guilty because I wasn't doing anything. And then I had to snap out of it. I did a lot of praying and I snapped out of it. I forced myself to get up and decide what I wanted to see and what I wanted to happen. So I created a list of different things that I could do relative to what I love, which is hairstyling, that would still sort of fall in the same category as me, of course, not physically touching my clients or physically seeing my clients, but how could I help them virtually? Clients had begun to call me and text me and ask me all these questions about what am I supposed to be doing to my hair? Oh my gosh, I have clients who come every 2 weeks, every week, every 3 weeks, once a month, and they really were getting really anxious about the health and integrity of their hair. And a lot of them, for the most part, they had been coming to me for so long, they really didn't know how to maintain their hair at home. So I came up with the idea to do virtual appointments. I would have the clients either cash at me or Zelle me. We would schedule an appointment to meet on Zoom, right? And we would go through the different products that they are using at home and what I felt like they needed, because of course I know their hair, they're my clients, and I know what I use on their hair when they come to the salon regularly. So then at that point I was able to say, okay, since you're at home and you don't have this type of conditioner, you need to order this off of Amazon, or you need to go to Target and get this. I was able to say, based off of what you have at home, you need to be using this X amount of time a week, or this oil for your hair is too heavy, you need to get this type of serum. It was like a sense of therapy for me, because it was something that I had been used to doing all the time. Every day I was used to giving clients advice about their hair in a physical setting. And so when I wasn't able to do that, during the beginning of the quarantine, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really honestly felt like I don't know what I'm going to do, because that's what I've always done. But the fact that I was able to do this virtually, it definitely helped me to be able to get more of my creative juices flowing, right? So these virtual appointments, it was so good to talk to my clients. We laughed, we joked, and I want to say our virtual appointments will probably be like 30 minutes at a time or 40 minutes at a time for the most part. Some of them needed trims. I had to walk through trims with them. Some of them had teenage daughters who were used to coming, and they had just started learning how to take care of their hair the right way, and then quarantine hit. So these virtual appointments really helped me mentally, and it helped me to bring some income. The next thing that I did was I created an ebook. I wrote an ebook called The Epic Guide to Healthy Hair During Quarantine. I offered the ebook on my website and was a hit. The ebook was $9.99. I advertised it on my Instagram platforms. I advertised it on my Facebook platforms, because I have personal and business pages. And people were like, oh my gosh, I am downloading this. And it really even was able to go farther than just my client base. My clients were sharing the link to purchase the ebook, with their coworkers, because it almost felt like people were having the same conversations. Girl, I need to get to the salon. What am I going to do? My stylist had to close. People were even calling me, asking me would I take appointments, private appointments at home, y'all. And I had to say, I'm sorry, but I can't put you at risk, myself at risk, my family at risk, my husband, my kids. I just couldn't do that just so that you could get your hair done. People didn't mean to be selfish. I didn't take it that way, but it was just because really a lot of people just didn't know what to do. So the ebook was a huge success. I still have it up because I still have quite a bit of clients who have not been comfortable coming to the salon as often as they used to before the pandemic. And then I had quite a bit of elderly clients who still I have not seen and who I miss dearly, who have not been able to, or felt comfortable coming to the salon to get their hair done. So the book is still available. It's called The Epic Guide to Healthy Hair in Quarantine. It's $9.99. It's still on protectyourcrown.com. So that was another strategy that I used to bring income in, that ebook. That was fantastic. I also So this was a project that I have been working on for, I'm embarrassed to say, a couple of years. And it really shouldn't have taken me this long, but it's interesting what you do when, what you really do, you know you should have been doing, and then when your back is up against the wall, you're like, oh my gosh, I should have done this a long time ago. I should have been did this. But you know, hey, sometimes we're forced into positions we should have found for ourselves, and here it is. So this next thing that I did, okay, I self-published 2 books. They're called Dads Can Do It Too. It is a book. The first book is a book, it's dedicated to my dad, but it's a book that is designed to help dads learn or practice or know or give them the basic information on how to maintain and care for their daughter's hair themselves, without mom's help, without auntie's help or grandma's help. Dads can do it too. So it's Dads Can, and do is D-O-O. Dads Can Do It Too is the name of the book. It is available on Amazon. And the other book is also Dads Can Do It Too, but it is a coloring / activity book for the daughters to do while daddy is doing their hair. It's supposed to serve as sort of a distraction, something that she can do while dad's doing her hair, so that they can bond and have that time, that one-on-one time, that daddy-daughter one-on-one time together, because mommy needs help sometimes. Our households are not like they used to be, where, you know, you have a mom, you have a dad goes to work, mom stays home. Now you have moms who are bosses, or, you know, moms who maybe work at night, or you have 2 dads in the house, right? So you really don't have the same sort of traditional or conventional household that we're used to seeing. And I wanted to create something where dads could, and this book has been beneficial for moms as well, because I made a mistake of believing that all moms knew how to take care of their daughter's hair, and that just wasn't the case. But I called it Dads Can Do It Too because my dad did my sisters and my hair when we needed it, when my mom needed help. And actually it really stemmed from, it's like a family joke, because sort of in the Black community, getting your hair done as a child is like a part of growing up. It's a whole scene. It's a whole dramatic, theatrical, usually in my house it was, okay? When daddy would come home and it was time for me and my sister to get our hair combed, we hated get our hair combed, but we knew, you know, daddy couldn't take us crying. And so when mama would, you know, comb my hair or get ready to comb my hair, and we heard that key turn and daddy was coming home, we would cry. And even if it didn't hurt that bad, y'all, because we knew daddy was going to be like, oh no, what are you doing to my baby? And so it ended up being an opportunity for him, because my mom was like, well, if you think you can do better, then you do it. And he started doing it. Now, you know, we had one plait going this way, one twist going this way, one going that way, but we didn't care. Our dad did it. You know, he would roll the towel up and put it under our necks, and we would lay on the kitchen counter. I mean, I felt like I was at the spa. And now that I look back, I wonder if that was sort of what made me want to go into the industry. I don't know. It's really interesting. I had to write this book, and the quarantine afforded me the opportunity in terms of time to get it done. So that was another thing that I did to sort of bring in income. The other thing that I did was about 2 years ago, I started to get into making hair accessories. So I love fashion. I know it probably doesn't look like it right now, but you know, hey, where am I going? So I love fashion, and I wanted to incorporate fashion with hairstyle. Not hairstyling, but hairstyle. So I started I purchased a sewing machine, never sewed before in my life, purchased a sewing machine and taught myself how to use it. And I started purchasing different fabrics. I would say probably within a 3-month time frame, I started selling headbands, turban style headbands that I started making, which I'm super proud of. And they were a hit. I started selling them at my salon, and I started selling them on my website. Now, when we went into quarantine, I had to, you know, really put my foot on the gas, sort of picking up sales with my turban headbands. So I started sending out newsletters. Email marketing is huge. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I am not consistent with email marketing, but every single time I decide to send an email to my clients and use that email marketing platform to connect, it works. I get sales every time I send out emails. Clients really appreciate when you give them information that's packed with value, and then also something that helps them camouflage their bad hair days. The last thing I would say I did was I started making masks to match the headbands. Why not? We have to wear PPE, we have to wear masks. Why wouldn't I start, selling masks to match, the headbands? So the masks have also been a hit. And so in addition to everything else that I did or that I implemented to bring in income, all of those things helped me mentally, and they also helped me financially to bring in some income. Now, I do so many clients a week. It wasn't, oh my gosh, I don't even have to go back to work, because standing behind the chair, of course, is something that I love to do. I just wanted to encourage you all, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a hairstylist, if you're a salon owner, and you are struggling, what worked for me was I prayed for creativity, I prayed for consistency, I prayed for discipline all the time. It may be something that you want to try if you have not. And then also to get out of your own head. I do have to tell myself this often. I had to get out of my own head, and I just had to try it. There was nothing that I had to lose. And when you're an entrepreneur, taking risks is something that you do. If there are no risks, there is no reward. And I continue to take risks with so many things, because I'm always thinking or trying new things to sort of scale my business or evolve or take my businesses to the next level. So I just want to encourage you, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a hairstylist, if you're a salon owner, if you are in the industry where you are used to servicing clients on a regular basis and not having the opportunity to do that because of the pandemic, try to get creative about how you can still do what you love, or in a different capacity, because you will be surprised how people respond to what you have to offer them, aside from just in a physical, situation or a physical setting. I'm so grateful that I'm still here. I'm still learning. I'm still trying new things. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm always looking for new ways or new things to do to grow. So I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages someone out there who needs help with pivoting and changing the strategy, but still being able to do something relative to what you love to do. So I hope this helped. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a comment below, and please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching.